Hey, real estate agents, welcome to the Weekly Closer. I'm your host, Jeff Underwood, along with my co-host and show producer, Joey Sampaga. How you doing, Joey?
What's going on?
Well, we're doing a show.
We are doing a show. We got a great guest with us, too.
Yeah, we've got somebody that is probably better than the Cardinals right now. No, I'm just teasing.
Oh, Cardinals are doing excellent.
Yeah, Cardinals are doing excellent.
Yeah.
I had to throw that in because I know Joey's a big Cardinals fan.
Well, you know what? One of the first interviews I did with you all, you asked, you had the bag, and, who's your favorite team? And I said, well, I had to say the Cardinals. And this is right when
there you go.
Kyler Murray had joined. Mm-hmm. And it's like there's something about him, and look at him now. Look at him and the team now.
Yeah.
At 5-0. And I heard on the news the other day that the Cardinals haven't been 5-0 since 1974.
70-something.
74. Yeah. So that's huge. So congrats to all of them.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us today, too.
My pleasure. It's been a while.
We have Robin Brand from Fidelity National Home Warranty here with us.
We are here, yes.
And let's see, you... let me see. Which security title rep reached out?
Tony Scardina.
Oh, yeah. What does he go by?
No Baloney Tony. No Baloney Tony. And anybody who knows Tony is a go-getter, and he's a personality, but he's got a heart of gold.
Yeah.
If you need something, he'll move heaven and earth to get what you need. And, his dad and my dad were both military people. And funny enough, I think we'd already left the same base, Plattsburgh, New York. Both, nobody knows where it is unless you were in the Air Force, because there was a big base up there. But I think my dad had already left when Tony says he was born there at the hospital there.
Okay.
Wow.
But what was I going to tell you about that? Oh, I know. The old adage is if you're on time, you're late.
You are early all the time.
Well, I
great.
like to allow for turns and somebody who doesn't know where they're going.
Yeah.
And I love the people in the high-speed lane, and, I need to go over here. And they cut right in front of you to exit,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot of those people have a white license plate with red letters.
Yes. Yes. And so, again, we don't tailgate. And, I have a relatively new car, but I was talking to somebody the other day. My college car was a jalopy. Dents are us. And you can see the road below the floorboards.
Oh, yeah.
But that car, I made more money towing people or pulling people out of snowbanks. Really? That car would not get stuck. Would not get stuck. So
I have to look that up. I don't even know what a jalopy is.
A jalopy is just a rent-a-wreck or something, but that's what $200 got you.
Oh, got it.
Back in the day. But my mom said I was so proud of it, and because it was mine.
Sure.
And
that's right.
I didn't have to wait for the bus to come around to take me to wherever I needed to go.
Yeah.
So anyway,
So you're going to update us a little bit on what's going on with home warranty.
Yeah,
right?
with Fidelity National Home Warranty, we introduced a product. When did it come out? Earlier this year. And what I like about it, it's a nice little booklet, and it looks different than what it used to before. We were just like a little panel like this, and it was all purple.
Yep.
So you can see that we've kind of introduced other colors to it.
Yeah.
But what I like about this one is it's got a little chart on the back. I don't know where there's the camera there. So that realtors don't have to dig. For the pricing, and the plans are side by side for a single family residence, condo, townhome, mobile home, duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes, all right here. And then below you can see the coverage at a glance.
There you go.
That's helpful.
Yes, it is, because time is money, isn't it? Snooze, you lose, all those different things. So I wanted to make sure that our listeners knew that about Fidelity, and that this is the new product. In your offices, you may see them look like this, or we may have them folded like this, depending upon what kind of facility we have to put them in.
Yeah.
So we have those. One thing that we did introduce, we added another plan.
Okay.
And this one is called the Enhanced Plus Plan. We always had the Standard Plan, the Comprehensive Plus Plan, and the Enhanced Plan. But the Enhanced Plus Plan is very important because it has $1,000 towards the cost of modifications. Modification costs when we replace an air conditioning unit, a water heater, or even an appliance. It's what they call in the medical field surprise costs. Nobody knows, nobody's expecting them, and then all of a sudden the authorizer from the service department with Fidelity will say, okay, well, you have some out-of-pocket costs. Okay, what are those? Well, with air conditioning, it could be an elbow, it could be some copper lines, it could be temperature pressure valve, all these things, and most of the cost is the labor. You know, anybody who has a car, the parts cost nothing. It's the labor.
Yeah.
Well, so we have $1,000 towards modification costs. So a lot of our agents that work with us at Fidelity are writing in that Enhanced Plus plan. That Enhanced Plus plan also includes coverage for washer, dryer, refrigerator factored in at a bundled rate. So that plus the modification costs, it's a good plan if the homes are older. And Fidelity has no age restriction on any item or system we say we cover. All we care about is the systems and items are in good, safe working condition when we accept the property for coverage at close of escrow. So if people get all excited, that house has got a 15-year-old air conditioning unit or heat pump, bring it on. We don't care if it works. If the inspector says the splits are in the accepted area, we don't care. In fact, I may have mentioned on one of the other programs I did with you, and I often share it with presentations and other agents, my house is 25 years old. Fidelity did replace one of my air conditioning units, because I've got two, one on either side, a couple of years ago. So the other one is the original 25-year-old Goodman unit. Wow. It's a meat freezer back there. 25 years old.
It's still going.
It's still going. Well, I have it serviced. It's often like, if you're going to take a road trip to go see Uncle Bob and Aunt Betty, what did your dad do? He would check the tires, check the oil, check the fluids. And those things should be done every year with an air conditioning unit, because we live in a dusty area. The rainstorm we had last night was quite dirty. I didn't know it was supposed to rain.
My car was totally covered.
Well, I, of course, just got my car washed on Sunday, and where I go, they give you 48 or 72 hours. Well, I cashed in on that because I kept my receipt and just went through it 5 minutes, and they, so I can't stand driving a dirty car. So we talked about the chart.
I have a question over.
Oh, yes, sir.
How did you know I have an Uncle Bob and Aunt Betty?
Oh, I don't know, but it's just one of those things that we did road trips when we were kids, and we had the wood panel station wagon with the luggage rack on the top, and my dad is from Queens, New York City, so that's where my grandmother was. And Dad was a night owl. In fact, being in the Air Force, he flew at night. And he liked it because like us here during the day, at night, there was less traffic.
Yeah, sure.
So he would have Mom put us in our pajamas, put us in the back of the station wagon, drive the 9 hours south. And we wake up and we're at my grandmother's house. And so, okay, you just keep the kids busy.
Yeah.
And then peace and quiet for Mom and Dad.
There you go.
So something else that we've added for our plan is our new quick claim feature. And everybody knows in customer service anywhere, whether it's us, your homeowner's insurance, or maybe health insurance, there's a wait line. You're in the queue. You dial the 800 number, you're in the queue. Well, initially when the pandemic started, everybody had to get in line. Things shut down, and then gradually things opened back up. So the Amazon and the internet savvy people, okay, somebody's going to pick up in 2 seconds and hear my order, and then the part I need is going to be delivered by a drone within the hour. Well, no, we live in the real world where there's actual people, and we deal with a parts house, and the tech comes with the part and installs it after they diagnose what the problem is. I had a woman complain the other day that she was on hold for 8 minutes, and it's like,
wow.
You know what? That's a blessing, because it can be longer, and common sense, which isn't so common anymore. If I do it myself, if I have to call health insurance or the airlines or whoever I'm dealing with, and I want to talk with somebody, I make sure I have admin work ready to do or something so that steam doesn't come out of my ears and I'm drumming along, but people just get livid. So we developed a new quick claim link, which is on our website, the front page, which is www.homewarranty.com. Right at the bottom of that page is a quick claim link. And you can go there, any contract holder with Fidelity can go there, click the button, and fill out what they need, and they're done. There's no login. They don't need to talk to anybody, and there's no fuss. And, I think we have about 6 representatives here in various parts of the valley. And we're always on standby because we know we're still in the people business, customer service. Sometimes you need to talk to somebody. And I had a guy Friday, and he was irritated, but he kept himself in control.
Yeah.
And he told me what he needed. I made a phone call. Bam. Done. So that being said, with warranties in general, people either like them or they don't.
Sure.
It's time or money. Time meaning if you have the time, let the warranty buy you an air conditioning unit, water heater, or what. Sometimes things happen, you can't wait. Okay, so you go do it yourself outside the warranty. If you do that and you don't check with us first, that's your bill. And people always want to come back and say, well, I couldn't wait. Well, what was the problem? What was the issue? And, like I said, all of us reps here, all of us are pretty well seasoned. I mean, I just passed my 30th anniversary, August 1st.
Wow. Congratulations.
Georgianne Roberts has been, I think, 25 plus years. Mary Slakey. Patty Hackman just retired. 42 years, I think.
Oh, I didn't know she retired.
Yeah.
So we stay with it, and we know the ins and outs of the business, and we're not just talking heads. We are actually action people, and that's why we've been around for so long. But we want to know if there's a problem. Let us help. But if people think they're going to stick it to the man or big insurance or what, that's going to be your bill. And so when we make it clear that we're available to help or assist, Fidelity even has people Saturdays and Sundays to help for us so we can escalate a claim, which is a lot easier on us because Friday night, Monday, a lot can happen in 48 hours. And most of us on our team, we want to get it done right away so the monkey's off our back so we can actually go enjoy a car show or an antique show or whatever you want to do for the weekend. So the time or money thing, that's one thing. The wait times, we've found a way around so that you don't have to wait to place a claim. If you want to talk to somebody, call your rep.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's the representatives, the field reps, that make the difference between home warranty plans. Because, it's a home warranty. Oh, yeah, whatever. And they're all the same. Well, no, they're not. But nobody reads these. And I don't blame them. It is boring. Yeah. We are regulated by the State Department of Insurance. So there's teeth there. We're not just a U-Haul outfit where we show up, take your money, and leave town. And that happened 30, 35 years ago. There were some coming into town that nobody knew, and they were the new, red tricycle or flashy red car, and then they were gone in a year. You get what you pay for.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
So do your homework, and anybody who is interested in a home warranty plan, call them and see what the reception is. Find out who the local representative is. Call that person and have a chit chat. Have them send you the information. And it's like trying on shoes.
Yeah.
Go try on shoes and see if they fit. We don't cover everything. We reimburse when we know about something, because sometimes we do outside authorization, but we authorize it. You can't just go, like we talked about, get your own, and then, Robin, I'm going to send you an invoice, and it's $5,000.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll look at it, but we might do something, because Fidelity will work with you sometimes, depending upon the circumstances. But we base our costs on wholesale costs. And hotel, motel. Wholesale pricing is a lot different than retail.
Yeah.
I mean, you see the markup. So
Right.
But
Okay.
anyway,
Those are exciting things.
well, and they're good things to know about. But the big thing was this Enhanced Plus plan with the extra $1,000 from surprise costs.
Yeah.
Because that with buy-sell transactions with realtors, who do they call first? The realtor.
They do.
Then the realtor calls us, which that's fine. And well, Robin, you told me that A, B, C, D, E, and F, and it's like yes, but again, it goes back. Nobody reads these. There is no fine print in these. I love it when say, "Oh, well, that was in the fine print." There's no fine print. In fact, what we don't cover is in a larger, bolder font, and then it's got the limits of liability and the terms of coverage. We couldn't be more clear.
Yeah.
But the old adage, you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you have a role where you have to use your eyeballs and read it. So, but anyway, do you have any questions that might come to mind?
She covered it all.
Yeah. So, I mean, okay, so this can be even on mobile.
On mobile homes, a lot of people
No,
don't.
I meant like on your mobile device. Even.
Oh, mobile
It's like-
device.
it's
Oh,
like
yeah,
It's pretty
yeah.
easy to get to.
Yeah.
To click the button and everything.
Yeah, and people, especially the younger demographic, can you do it on the phone? It's like, yes, you can do everything on the phone. So people do that. So we do cover the bases. But, this is the kind of business, it's not for everybody. It's not for the lighthearted, because sometimes people are upset. You got to learn not to take it personally. And I always tell people, if there's a breeze blowing outside, then somebody's blowing my ears back. And you know what? I will always listen. I will always listen, because I know by the time it gets to me or Georgianne or Mary or somebody, they're already frustrated.
Yeah.
And it's like, tell us what you have. Let us see how we can help.
Yeah.
And we usually can.
Okay.
We usually can. So,
You did mention talking about the supply chain
oh yeah,
issues that are happening. So
thank you for bringing that up. And that was a nice little prompt for me. And I love things like karma. If you pay it forward, the majority of your life or all your life, then it comes back in spades. And to that extent, with regards to supply chain issues, me personally, I have not had one issue in these 18 months where they couldn't get an air conditioning unit, they couldn't get a water heater, they couldn't get a dishwasher, although I hear it all the time. And our compressors come up in 3 days. But when it's hot,
It's hot.
that's just not going to work. To that point also, Fidelity will offer its contract holders an allowance for temporary cooling. So they can go to Home Depot or Costco or
grab one of
Walmart,
those,
Lowe's, and it's not going to cool the whole house.
it's a cool chest with ice and a fan.
Well, again, it's common sense. Turn the fans on, or I know some of the outlying areas, it's cooler than what they measure at Sky Harbor, at the 5 o'clock news. Sometimes even in August, it would cool off enough at night where you could raise the windows, turn on the ceiling fans, and let the hot air in the house out.
Yeah.
But of course, that doesn't happen often. You don't want to open up the windows because you let the hot air in. But just to pay attention, and I let people know I am right here in the valley. Because a lot of people think, oh, well, you're in Concord, California, or San Francisco. Oh, no, ma'am, no, sir, I am right here. And you're right, it is hot.
Yeah.
But here's what we can do for you. And I always tell people, because I like to have fun. It sounds kind of salesy. Here's what we can do for you. It's like a used car. Bring in your jalopy. We'll take care of it. But that temporary cooling is huge for people. Now they have to front the money, and then they send us a paid receipt, and they get their money back within a week.
Oh, that's good.
And so it shows people that, number one, we're listening, number two, we care, number three, we're action item orientated, and here's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And, there you go.
Yeah.
So,
Do you think that, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but do you feel like with the supply chain issues that are happening, does it make a difference if it's a larger company like Fidelity versus like a small that's only a local home warranty? I mean, as far as like getting
No, I'll take
things?
that question because I worked for a small regional company when I first started my home warranty career. They didn't seem to have any problem getting equipment. Now, of course, that was 30 years ago, but 30 years ago, if you remember, there was a bit of a recession and, layoffs and stuff like that. But the people that I worked with and for had very good negotiating skills. So I think large or small, if you've got the right people in the right position that know how to negotiate pricing, and those people are gifted. All of us have gifts. Some people are still walking around trying to figure out what their gift is, but I really do believe everybody's got a gift, and I love the finance people. I will share this with you. How much time do we have? Are we still...
We're still good.
Okay,
We're good.
I will share this with you. This is fun. Many years ago, and I smile every time I see an AutoZone store because I was on the ground floor of that company when it was called Auto Shack. And it was based in Memphis, Tennessee. And you know how every company has kind of like a culture department. Well, they wanted us to go out into the field. And we worked with junior achievement. So I went into an inner city school and with junior achievement, and I had an 8th grade class. And don't you know, the kid that was the treasurer was one of those gifted kids that could do columns of numbers in his head. And this was before computers became mainstream. And, I'll never forget his name. His name was Tyrone. Tyrone had all the answers. And it's like, Tyrone, why don't you come up here on the board and map it out? If you've ever seen that movie, Hidden Figures, with the gal they called them human computers. And they needed a computer. Kevin Costner was the main guy there at NASA.
I haven't seen that yet.
That was, you need to see that. It's been out a couple of years, but it comes around on maybe Netflix or cable or something like that. But she was brilliant as a child, and so her parents and the church raised the money to get her into a school so that could develop. But she worked those problems. This was 1961, 62, and the monkey was on her back to get John Glenn back safely. And she had to have the right calculations, well, you'll see a scene of her. She's up there on a ladder like they had in the libraries. The book that you wanted was always way on the top. So the ladder that rolled along the side, they had a ladder there because this board, her calculations would take the whole board with chalk.
Wow.
And she would work it, and she'd talk to herself as she's working it through. Fascinating. That was her gift. So do see that movie if you can, but sometimes I wonder, what happened to Tyrone? What did he do with that skill? I hope he capitalized on it and did something. Maybe he's an engineer somewhere. But it's always fun when the kids know more than the teacher and already has the answer. Come on up here and work it out on the board. And so that was the gift. And look at what you guys do, and what I do. When I was younger, I had ideas to go to New York City. I was going to be this big designer or entertainer, one or the other. And because my grandmother lived there, I had, live with her, take the subway into Manhattan. Oh, I had it all figured out. Well, my mom would always say, now, Robin, think it through. Neither my mom or my dad ever told me that we couldn't do something, because I have 2 other sisters. Never told us we couldn't do anything. If you want it, go, but figure it out. But Mom would say, well, now, honey, think that through. And now we're older, so we're them now. I know what she meant. And there was something in the core of me that said, Robin, that's not really for you. And when I went through college and I took the design courses, and of course there were relationships to design houses and places, because, college does placement for you. And we come up to interview, and I just thought of the childhood memories of being in the back of that station wagon and Dad navigating around New York City.
Yeah.
And you get a neck cramp from looking up at the buildings and the hustle and the hassle. And again, what you know now when you're older,
Yeah.
I made the right decision. I'm glad I didn't do that. But do I still sketch? Yes. Do I still sew? Yes. And sometimes I wear what I make. Mm-hmm. And but my thing later was always get a steady job that pays the bills. And then if there's time to do a gig on the side, and what have you. But I will tell you this too, even when I was in my 20s, I was like a digger dog, just tired, just working. And you get home and you stop. I was whipped. And it's like, well, you old woman at 25.
Well, 30 years now, right?
Oh, yeah, yep.
Well, just sounds like you found what you're...
Well, and I know what I was going to tell you. As I was coming along, people said, you should be in sales. You should be in sales. And it's like, no, I am not. Those people are grease balls. Because those were the examples that I saw, and it just wasn't a good thing. Well, when I came out here and I left Auto Shack, I came out, who brought me out here? Checker, which is now O'Reilly Auto Parts. Mm-hmm. And I had the job before I even left Memphis or got off the plane to interview for it. And I get out here, and there was no work. I mean, I sat on my butt for 7 months. I finally resigned, and a guy was leaving, and he says, Robin, you may have heard I'm leaving. I said, yeah. And he says, you know where I'm going? There's a spot there you do really well in. Well, what is it? Outside sales. And I thought, you know what? I was not going back to Memphis. I was not going back to New York. I'm staying here, and I'll figure it out. And it turned out, that was the only card I had to play because I didn't know anybody. And, what have I got to lose? So, and one thing led to another. And I guess the whole point is if you have a product that can serve others well, or a service that people need or want, and you can back it up. And, you can't be a one guy or one woman show. You got to have the support and the backup. And I've been fortunate that I've always had that. Otherwise, you're just going to flail.
Yeah.
But it's got to burn in your belly that you're not going to fail.
Yeah.
And
sounds like you got that.
Well, you know what? And I have failed. Failure is your best teacher. Well, don't do that again.
Yeah.
But you know what? Try, see what works. But this does, and every company right now, every company is not 100%. Everybody's got their little warts or scratches or issues. But when you get to the right people, and the one thing about Fidelity is we are accessible. And if you can't get through on the office, who's your rep? We have a thing on our website where you type in a zip code, who's your rep, pops up right there. So there's really no excuse that you cannot get help or assistance from Fidelity National Home Warranty. I can't speak for the others. The other companies that I, worked with that got me to Fidelity, because it was all through acquisition, they all had support. They had their set of challenges too, but that's life.
Yeah.
If it's too easy, it's not fun.
That's right.
Where's the hiccup here? Well, I'm not going to go look for it. Believe you me, we don't need those. But if you find one, just take care of it and move on.
So, what part of the valley do you?
That I serve. Mm-hmm. Well, I had mentioned this on one of the other interviews that we did. I'm like the sprinkles on the donut, because Fidelity purchased my former company, BPG Home Warranty, and I had the whole valley. And so when you come to a company like Fidelity and they know I am coming, the territories were already established. There were no open territories. So what they had to do was find a place for Rob and Brand. Well, I had some specific accounts. And so I got to keep some offices I shared, and others, it just kind of goes along with acquisitions, win some, lose some. But the main thing is, and this applies to anybody in marketing or business development, you got to be consistent. Keep showing up.
Yeah.
Keep in touch with your database. And, realtors will tell you that. Tony Scardina would tell you that. Loan officers will tell you that. No matter what happens in your life, just stay in touch with your people. So I'm from, Fountain Hills, here, Goodyear, Buckeye, Surprise. And I like that because I've always driven the valley.
Yeah.
Even before the 101 and the 202, I drove the surface streets. So when there's a backup or something on, I'm going Cactus, or I'm going Thunderbird, or I'm going Baseline, Bell Road. So, it's
So if
just,
agents that are watching or listening now, if they want to reach out to you, how do they do that?
they can call me at 602-818-6962, or Robin with an I, like the little bird, ROBIN.brand@fnf.com.
All right.
Call, text, whatever. And if I'm not your rep, I'll direct you to the one that can service you.
All right.
So-
Well, thank you for sharing
Oh,
all
it's
this.
my pleasure. We need to do it again.
Yes.
Yeah,
We will do it again.
absolutely.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you, and thanks everybody out there, and call us if we can help you. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, let's get you in the ring for maybe 2 questions. real
Oh,
quick.
good. Oh,
Okay,
we're
ready?
still going to play the game.
All right.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay, what?
How about, did you have a favorite Netflix or Prime series during this whole COVID thing?
No, because I never cut the cable. I'm still a cable girl.
How about a cable show?
Cable. Oh, Andy Griffith, Andy and Mayberry.
There you go.
That is, I tell you what, you cannot go wrong. I've seen all those episodes a million times, and I still laugh. And so that's that. And Blue Bloods, I like that.
Oh, that's a good
we
one.
talked about Danny Wahlberg and Donnie Wahlberg and Tom Selleck last time I was here. I know
Yeah,
we did.
absolutely.
Yeah.
How about a book recommendation?
Book recommendation. Oh, what is the one that I just read? Obviously, it just. I'll tell you this. I just picked one up for my grandnephew yesterday. It's a Cat in the Hat book, and it's about miles and miles of reptiles. And I have one little guy that is very interested in snakes. And so this one has got all the different reptiles, and it's funny because it's Arizona related. But it talks about, well, we don't have crocodiles out here, but the lizards and the guys that do their little push-ups and the crocodiles and stuff like that. So I was looking through it, and it's like, you know what, I need to get this for
Good.
Benjamin.
That's
So,
nice.
yeah, a little when I'll tell my age here in such a way that we had the little golden books, and those are still published today. And then the Cat in the Hat series. You
Yeah.
can't go wrong with Dr. Seuss.
Those are good.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So
Awesome.
there you go.
Well, thank you so much for sharing and
Oh,
being here.
My pleasure.
sure.
It's always fun. I'll come back again if
Thank
you'll
you for
have me.
sponsoring.
Yeah, thank
Oh,
you,
our
Fidelity
show.
National.
Oh, absolutely. You
Home
betcha.
warranty for
Well,
sponsoring, so-
Tony retired, right?
Yeah.
Tony McCarty
Yeah.
retired because Tony
Yes, that's right.
commandeered this, and now Callie
Yeah.
has stepped up. So we have Callie, and
Yep.
one of our other associates, Karina Rodriguez, I believe, is coming in on Thursday.
Yep.
Yeah, we got a
And,
few of you guys coming in, which is awesome.
Yeah. So
All right.
I'm sure she'll have something new to share. But
Awesome.
thanks again.
Yeah, thank you.
Always a pleasure.
All right, agents, until next time, we will see you later. Adios.
Adios, amigo.
Thank you.
Thank you.